Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. I tell you what, that doesn't get you fired up, be red-blooded American. I know it does, man. Hey, thanks for being here this evening, everybody. This is Scott Cameron for the Harding Telecom boys basketball presentation. And, again, my name's Scott Cameron, and I have a familiar voice and well, you can't see the face. Some might say it's a good thing, Jeff. They say that for me. So.
I was going to say, because I haven't shaved in about 5 days, so that's fine.
This is a perfect environment for you, sir. So Jeff and I both have faces for radio. So Jeff Ruth is joining me tonight for the Harding boys basketball game. We're playing Shelby tonight. Jeff, do you know anything about Shelby?
They're really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Unbeaten on the year, defending MOAC champions, and certainly those that are in the know think that Shelby will probably win the MOAC this year. A lot of teams are going to be battling out for second, but that's why they play the games. Nobody wants to battle it out for second. They want to be there at the end of the season for first place, and that's what Marion Harding's hoping to do tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And to be quite honest, if there's a time to where, we could kind of pull off an upset, it's tonight. Early in the season, sometimes teams aren't as refined. They may not be as smooth transitionally, et cetera. They don't have their lineups figured. This is the time to jump on them at home. A lot of people here tonight, Jeff.
Yeah, and Harding coming off a nice win against Gallion. Now, granted, Gallion's not a great team, but Harding really imposed their will last week. It was a running clock in the third quarter. And Harding, I like their up-tempo style. They really pressed. They drove the ball inside. They'll shoot it from the outside. And Jamie Pearson getting his first head coach win here at Marion Harding. And certainly he's hoping to build on that from Friday night.
Absolutely. And there's a double-edged sword to that, Jeff. Watching Harding play Gallion the other night, clearly Gallion was out-athleted. Is that a word term? It is now. But clearly they were out-athleted. And Marion's test tonight is going to be, can they control that athleticism? Because I think I saw you at the game. You were, 50 feet from me. And as up-tempo and as quick in a transition it can be, it got a little sloppy sometimes.
Yeah, it did.
There's more turnovers than the hamburger at McDonald's. It was bang, bang, bang. So can they control that athleticism and put it in a microscope of focus? Yeah, I think that's going to be a challenge.
And especially in that first half, as you know, Harding left a lot of points on the floor. They missed a lot of normal, fairly easy shots that they missed. Yes. They can't afford to miss those easy shots tonight.
Correct. They have to take advantage of every single opportunity, and it's going to be interesting to see how players like Wes respond tonight. By the way, I just heard today Wes is going on a college visit to a larger school for football.
Good for him.
Good for him. Young man deserves a chance, and that would be a fantastic opportunity for him. And, man, that does Harding well, too. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here at Harding High School again. And so I'm arranging a little bit of the papers here, so we got a roster to look at for your names. Harding has the typical five that we had last game we were at. And I tell you what, I'm looking forward to this. I know Harding had a tough loss, double overtime at Delaware. They did bounce back, and they came back here for a win. So here we are getting ready for the tip-off.
Two names to keep in mind for Shelby are a couple of very good football players, Andre Hill and Marshall Shepard.
Yes.
Hill just destroyed Harding in football earlier this year. Shepard, the quarterback, Hill, the wide receiver.
Yes. For sure, indeed. Yeah, Mason Shepard, quite the athlete. So, no doubt, Hill has the ball at the top of the key, to the elbow, back to Hill, looks around, and three thrown up. Board is meleeed around. Ooh.
It's called using your head.
Oh, man. Man, you just got to grab that ball, right? It's boop, 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 boop. Everyone wants to get it and go. You can't go anywhere without the ball, Jeff. Grab the ball.
In the JV game, Shelby jumped out to a 10-0 lead in the first minute. They were up 17-4. Harding cut it to 2 at halftime, but Shelby pulled away in the second half. Shelby won that one 51-42, 13 for Alex Stokes in the JV game.
Yes, and that's the other thing. We've got some guys playing JV to get some minutes. One thing varsity does have at Harding, they've got a fairly deep bench.
Yeah, for sure. In fact, I think they had 12 players that scored in the game against Gallion.
Correct. So they have a relatively deep bench, deeper than I remember seeing in the past couple years. And, man, the Achilles heel for Harding the last few seasons, and continues to be, is the free throw line. As we've started 0 for 2, should be a tie ball game.
Mentioned Hill last year was more of a passing guard, kind of an assist leader, but they lost a couple of really good players, in particular TJ Pugh from last year. Hill's going to be called on to be more of a shooter this year and score more points. And as I say that, Shepard threw the ball to Hill in football that time.
That's why Shepard. That's why he was the quarterback.
That's right. Hill threw the ball to Shepard, perfect pass, and it went through his hands.
Hey, I have a feeling that's going to be discussed later. CJ bringing the ball up the court against Hill.
CJ Temple, who played the last few years over at Pleasant, coming in this year, and he played some really valuable minutes and played very well last week in the game against Harding. And there's a turnover on Harding.
It looks like a foul. Yep, offensive foul. And taking it out there by the corner. I tell you, Shelby has a pretty decent student section. They travel pretty well. Free ball. Ooh, dangerous cross-court pass. Hill taking it to the paint. Able to dribble that one in.
Hill puts it up and scores 4-zip, Shelby. And Shelby not a team that you can afford to get too far ahead.
No. And extended man press. Ooh, we call that the 1-calorie foul.
I was going to say, that was...
What's a 1-calorie foul? It's a tic-tac foul.
Yeah, that was. But maybe the officials give you an indication early on that's how the game's going to be called.
Yep. Ooh, man. Ref's having a hard time getting the ball to her. Probably got the ball into Pedraza. Pass it to the top of the key. Ooh. 2 hands on the player, no call. And settled for a ball back to Harding on the block there. Boy, defender lays 2 hands on the offensive player. That is typically automatically called a foul.
Especially considering what we saw about 20 seconds ago.
Yeah. Ooh, good pass to the block. And, ooh, he did not see that weak side at all.
Really nice block by Jeremy Holloway, who's 6'5".
Well, and truth be told, Long went up with his right hand rather than his left, having his right protect, and it burned him. And they got another point, 6-0.
Spruce with the field goal, 6-0 Shelby.
And so you got to think, if we don't score here, then Jamie's got to be thinking we got to do something potentially. It's a big shot. Oh, ice in the veins.
Yep. He's long, a big 3. Harding desperately needed that one.
You could just kind of feel the air lift, like, oh, okay, we can put it through the basket. Just rolls around, covers a whole 180 of the rim. Pedraza brings the ball up the floor. Attacks towards the, that should have been called. There we go.
Went to the floor and drove all the way and was able to draw the foul.
Hey, guess what? Foul doesn't mean a hill of beans if we can't put it through that hoop.
That's true.
So these are really big free throws. Really big free throws.
3 fouls on Shelby in less than 3 minutes.
Well, but that's that athleticism that Harding has, and they can use that to their advantage. Ugh. Dribble, going through. Yeah, but that's what we have. We have that athleticism. We just have to be able to utilize that, and we got to capitalize at the line. Charity stripe has not been friendly to us. We are now 1 for 4 from the line.
Just 1 for 4 from the line.
Long shot, bricks off. It's going to be Harding ball from the corner of the backcourt, and we got a sub coming in here. Looks like Shelby settling into some sort of man press. It looks like a man press.
Jeffrey Jones comes in for Marquise Long.
And and Shelby had been doing a man extended, but not press. And here they go. Yeah, they're just doing extended man. Nothing pressing. Unless you get in that coffin corner, drag it out. Pedraza down to the 45, to the top of the key. Or to CJ. CJ dribbles back to the top of the key. Does a weird spin. Ooh. CJ passed it off and off the hands of Jones. I tell you what, must be the ball, Jeff. That's 2 times it's gone through players' hands.
Yep.
Was there popcorn before the game? Oh, that's just. We fell asleep.
Yep, they did.
Fell asleep.
Say Ramsey with that field goal.
Yeah, they just extended the floor and we fell asleep on it. Temple has the ball, bringing it back here. Driven in by Riley Kieran, and that was a tough shot. Fade away. Holloway falls to the floor. Shelby transitions back. Down to the block, chest pass to Shepard. Puts in the deuce.
Shepard caught that one.
Yeah, he did. I don't think he had a choice. It was either that or it was going to crush a sternum.
So each starter for Shelby with 2 points.
Wow.
That's called balanced scoring.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, taking that in. Oh, Pedraza, nice drive. Just couldn't kiss it up off the glass enough. Shepard gives the ball off in the corner. Ooh, good attempt. Maybe overzealous, opens up the block. And, I'm going to say, yeah, should have been a foul. 2 points going up.
You're going to get Pedraza with the foul. That's the second foul on Harding.
You know, Pedraza is a kind of a. I see a lot of improvement from last year. Pedraza, he kind of seemed a little I don't want to say, he just did not feel like. Didn't see him being comfortable driving to the hoop, and he's being a lot more aggressive this year. You know, and it's just not falling yet, but surely, hopefully, it will. 11-4, Shelby. As Bryson Baker will check in for the shooter for Mason Shepard. Shelby settling in as it appears. Still just extended man. CJ Temple has the ball and he's looking for a block. Has to go cross court to Jones. Back to the top. Looks at the three. Jones took a little walk.
Little stutter step cost him there. Third turnover on Harding.
And again, that's that controlled athleticism like we were talking about in the pregame, right? As Harding kind of falls asleep again, opens up opportunities in a triangle offense. Oh, that was interesting to see what kind of foul this is. The big thing with the reason they called down Pedraza, his arm came down even a little bit. They will call that all day long. I remember when I was a kid playing, Jeff. Now I kind of hurt when I play, so I don't play very much. But man, I remember. I wouldn't block. I wouldn't block anyone, but I wouldn't hit him. But my arm would go down across their body, and my dad would say, "You can't do that. It's always going to be a foul." And I'm like, "What do you know, Dad?" Well, ends up my dad knew a lot, Jeff. I might be good looking, but I'm not very smart.
A couple of substitutions now. Check back in for Harding.
Ooh, off the front of the iron. Good board. Good rebound.
Missed both of those free throws.
Yeah. A little strange tie-up with Jones coming down the floor. Nonetheless, CJ has the ball at the top. West around the horn to Pedraza. Looks at the bottom of the key. Here we go. That was an interesting turn, and hey.
Tough turnaround jumper there by Stokes.
Honestly, that's what Shelby wants. If you're having to make those kind of shots, you're in Shelby's favor. Ooh, okay. So it must have been a foot on the line there, right in front of Coach Pearson as he's encouraging on his team. It looks like they better get out of that corner. There you go. CJ running the ball up the floor. Okay. That should have been called a band.
Gonna say, yep.
But that didn't get called. Ball went where it should anyways. That
was a little walk.
That's a walk, too.
Wasn't it?
He walked right into his shot. Holloway got his packed bags, hopefully.
That would have been a walk in the NBA.
It would have, yeah. His Wes is,
Harding's going to put up a couple of shots here that aren't, what shall we say, high percentage shots right now.
That's what I mean. You could say offensively, we were playing right into Shelby's hands for their defense, and you can't do that. If we are more athletic, we need to use that to our advantage, our speed to our advantage, driving it in. But pull-up threes are probably not the high percentage. I agree, Jeff. Off the hill in the corner, dribbles. Nice stop. Back down to the circle and just missed it. There, go grab it. There we go. Got some more subs here, Jeff. Shepard comes out. Coach is probably going to tell him, don't walk into your shot, son. So do you know what a whippet is, Jeff?
It's a dog.
Absolutely. It's a speedster dog. What do you think's faster, a whippet or a greyhound?
I never thought about that. I don't know.
Sounds like a Google question.
It does. You're right.
As Pedraza took the ball in, timeout Shelby as it's 8-12, and it looks like we are going to be taking a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here.
I did not think I'd get asked a question tonight of which is faster, a whippet or a greyhound.
Well, there's Jeff. When you work with me, you got to be prepared for the unprepared.
I guess.
So hey, we are here at Marion Harding High School, and I just give 3 cheers out to my friend John Mullins, who does a fine, fantastic, and grandiose job at Harding Telecom, doing all these productions. Yeah, I'm here. Todd's here. Jeff's here. My friend Josh Votal was here.
Why isn't Todd here tonight?
I don't know. I think he had a beauty pageant he had to.
Okay.
He was in or something. No, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Like I said, we look pretty, but we're not smart. So, but man, we have this great program here at Harding High School, and John helps run it, and the kids help run it. Man, it is fantastic. As we got them in the coffin corner. And a deflected ball out of bounds belongs back to Shelby.
Caden Jones evidently touched it last.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Of course, I've been doing the Coach's Corner show for a lot of years with football and basketball, and a lot of fun. Get to know certainly the coaches, but get to know the players as well.
Yes.
A little bit.
Get them to know on different space other than hardwood or grass. Boy, cross-court pass. Kind of a little sloppy, but no one's covering the middle. Oh, it's a little bit of a rejection. Got a scrum on the floor. Ball belongs back to Shelby, and this does not particularly look good for Marquise Long.
Long is down. Now he's getting up slowly.
Yeah. It was...
Remember, basketball's a non-contact sport.
There's a heap of humanity for sure.
He's going to the locker room right away.
He is. I don't know what happened to him, but hopefully that young man is okay and comes back soon.
CJ Temple will check back into the ball game.
Have you watched Pleasant yet?
I saw them play Elgin about 10 days ago. Elgin won by 11 points in that game. Elgin's going to be one of the... I think most improved teams in the area.
Bill Clem is the coach over there, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I know Bill. I play ball with Bill. So if he's listening, hey, Bill, you still owe me $5 and you have my sunglasses in your car.
Okay.
He really does have my sunglasses in the car.
And does he really owe you $5?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because I have to put up with him, he owes me $5. It's Carson Brubaker. Ooh. Gets a little dribble in. Much to the wistful denial of Harding. Seemed like they wanted to play some good. Oh, see, that's that confidence Pedraza has, but ooh, last second try, good try. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a little bit of a break. Jeff and I will be back here at Harding High School Telecom basketball.
Pizzasaurus Rex made to order. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. Come to the historic OK Cafe, located at 734 East Center Street, Marion made for over 80 years. Manufacturing has changed. There was a time when people would spend countless hours pushing buttons, pulling levers, and swinging hammers. One day, things began to change. One day, things became smart. Buttons, levers, and hammers became apps, computers, and robots. Manufacturing has changed. Marion Harding High School is proud to be part of that change by offering an advanced manufacturing course. Integrated Production Technologies will introduce you to the exciting career of modern manufacturing through hands-on application of the latest.
Thanks. Good.
And I just looked at that like,
Good. Hey, folks, we're back here at Harding High School Telecom basketball production. And, boy, what an eventful first quarter. My partner in crime, Jeff, departed for a couple minutes. He's walking back across the floor to us. But it was 8-14, and, boy, what a first quarter for Shelby. They kind of imposed their will in a lot of ways defensively, forcing Harding to take some shots. Jeff, what are you seeing that Harding needs to do a little bit better offensively to put up some production?
Offensively, I like how they're driving inside. They just got to connect on some shots. They've had some high percentage shots, just haven't been able to hit a whole lot.
Yeah, and it's the ratio of high percent versus low percent shots. And we have had some good ones to look at, but we've been taking some bad ones too. Pedraza dribbles it to the corner, has to get it back out to Wes. Wes pulls up. Oh, that's a nice ball, but that pass needed to be to his chest. That's hard to give to a man that's turning around at his ankles. That's just a tough pass to handle. Right thought, though. It's a good thought. Ball back around to Brubaker. Pulls up at the free throw line and dribbles a two in.
That's just a nice shot.
It's a nice shot. That's the old school basketball, right? They always taught that fundamental. Dribble to the elbow, pull up for a jump shot. Right on the charity stripe. And then really, that's kind of the way Shelby kind of plays. A lot of it's kind of that old school, old school basketball, angles, triangles. It's very clear they believe in that. If it works, you keep doing it. So here, not a bad drive.
Yep, it was another good shot, just wouldn't drop.
Just didn't go in.
And once again, Shelby up tempo, getting the ball up the floor, and just like that,
Yeah.
Harding with a couple of quick buckets, and a timeout called by Marion Harding.
Yeah, and we'll just go ahead and stay here because we just went on a break. And I tell you what do you think Shelby needs to do offensively? Do you see anything that Shelby needs to do offensively that they could improve on?
Nope, I don't really see anything that Shelby is lacking as far as what they've done here in the first 9 minutes or so of the ball game.
Yeah, and one thing I really like about Shelby is it's almost as if they look for opportunities to get the ball inside the circle.
Yep.
And they are very good and extremely intentional about that, which means they believe they have better post players and finishers than we do post defenders.
I think Shelby's only taken one 3-point shot the entire ball game.
Correct. So it's very clear what their intent is, and their intent is to get it down low on us.
Watching the JV game, as far as Shelby, their JV team, 6'4", 6'3", 6'3", 6'3", and then they had another kid that wasn't quite that. But you got 4 of your 5 big players for the JVs that are 6'3" or over. That's That's hard to defend when you're, 14, 15 years old.
Yeah, yeah. No joke. Man alive. What are they feeding those kids? Riley pulls up, tough shot.
Able to draw the foul, though.
Mercifully. So, but again, charity stripe is only as noble as making them. I will say, I do thoroughly enjoy Marquise Long's shoes. It puts me in the Christmas spirit. Lots of color combination. Jeff, did you play basketball back in the day?
No.
No, you didn't. Did you? So you never had to wear the Chuck Taylors?
No, never did. No.
Do you remember when? The first Jordans came out?
I do. Yep.
Yeah. Everyone wanted those because they were different color and all that stuff. And man,
Harding now 2 of 6 from the free throw line.
in high school basketball, you can live with 60 to 70%, but it's got to be at least 60 or you are in desperate trouble.
Yep.
And it goes up 10% by each level. Get a ball in the corner, but no one's pressuring that. Across the court, Shepard, back to Hill. Pull up at the top of the key, way off. Rebound, it's still scrum. He's looking up, and there's going to be some pressure on by Hill. That's going to be a big shot that goes in. Does not.
Ball evidently out of bounds off Shelby, and I think they called a foul on Shelby as well.
Shelby, yeah. Here we are. So 5 fouls to 4, as you may have heard just over the PA, and still hasn't come up on the board. It's 5 though. Taken in by Riley. There you go. Paying attention was Wes. He may be a wide receiver, boys and girls, but he turned his head better in Ohio State secondary.
There's got to be a line there somewhere. I just can't come up with it.
Hopefully Coach Coombs is listening to this. And by the way, I have heard that he might be taking a long walk on a short dock with the hire of their new defensive coordinator. But who knows? Bucknuts does nothing but speculate half the time.
Isn't that what journalists are supposed to do?
Baker across the floor.
I heard from a friend of a friend who has a janitor that works in the chemistry department at Ohio State.
Oh, tough shot. Mason Shepard. Crowd silencer. Pedraza quickly gets the ball at the block, throws up a Hail Mary. Again, off balance. That is our 4th or 5th shot where we just kind of turn around off balance, fade away. Low percentage shots. Ooh. CJ trying to be aggressive, and he pays the price with a foul.
Harding foul number 15, CJ Temple.
I have Harding just 4 of 15 right now.
Yeah, it is a forced offense. And there ain't no shot clock. So.
And I hope they don't. But there's been some talk about bringing the shot clock to high school basketball. I hope that doesn't happen.
I was at a high school basketball tournament game down in Alabama a couple years ago. I'll finish it here. I'll tell you that story here in a little bit. Dumps in another 2 as the speed up to Riley, and instead of dribbling in, there we go. Nice turn. Maybe could have called a block or a block foul in 5. They did not. And here we are with the aggression foul by Wes.
All right, now tell the story.
Yeah. Well, so I went to a high school basketball game down in, it is a tournament they have down in Huntsville, and I saw a team score 4 points, and then they literally sat at the center circle for a quarter, the rest of the quarter. They got the ball back the very next play. In fact, do you remember a gentleman at Michigan State named Ray or Langford? His last name was Langford. He got injured, and then he came back. He's one of their studs at Michigan State. Mm-hmm. He's playing in that game.
Okay.
And so And that's all the team did for basically 2 quarters. They just sat, and I'm thinking, this sucks. You know, and it would have been great to have a shot clock there. For most amateurs, though, I agree it's out of place. And Shepard's going to probably get an easy 2 here.
And right now, Shepard got off to a little slow start, but he's asserting himself right now in the post.
Yes. Once again, they don't need to shoot it outside. Imposing their will.
All of a sudden, it's a 14-point game.
The front court is just, ooh, what a block. They are having their way with Marion Harding in just about every facet. Shepard pulls up another.
Shepard's got the hot hand now.
He is. He's John Starks in NBA Jam. Goodness gracious. Around to West is, you know, Harding feels pressure. Ooh, that's a good play. Oh. I'm kind of surprised they didn't do something with West there. Did you see him do a push-up?
I did not.
Did you see it?
What's that?
John, did you see Wes's push-up?
Yes.
Yeah. That sometimes gets you a stoppage of game and a talking, or worse.
I was looking down, writing down the field goal, and I missed that.
Yeah, it was. I believe what he was doing, Jeff, was he was issuing you a challenge. He does 2, and you do 2. So are you gonna do them?
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't blame you.
I didn't play basketball, and I don't do push-ups.
But you do the peanut push.
I do that.
I was there. I saw you.
Front page of the Marion
Man,
Star.
boy, I tell you, I saw you, man. Did you even have a nose guard on?
No,
I know, man. Gee, you are a risk taker. You live life on the edge. Goodness.
I go on natural.
Okay. Jeez. Okay. Oh, blocked by Jim the Rim, but still having their way, and it still just won't get in. But guess what? We can't do is daggone rebound the ball. Whew. Yep, they're having their way on the boards. Riley offers.
Yeah, Harding needed that one, a big 3 for Riley, and they desperately needed a shot there to fall.
Yes, we need that reprieve as Shepard has the ball at the top of the key. Gives it to Isaiah. Around the corner. Back to Brooks. Starter in, out, and in. And we got a board. Ooh. Still has a dribble because that was an inadvertent loss. Kieran with the ball. Being pressured by Hill. Hill has to get rid of it. There we go. Give CJ. And again. Oh, that's fine. We had all 5 players around the perimeter. If you do that, you have to make sure you go against a man that you can beat one-on-one. You should have opportunities at the bucket. Hill has the pull-up 3. Off the mark.
Defender missed him there. He was wide open. In fact, he was probably too wide open. That's why he missed it.
Yeah, that makes you think too much.
Yeah.
Makes you think too much. It might have been Jones's green shoes that threw him off. West takes a tough shot off on the weekend. Riley throws up a blocked shot. Shelby transitions down the floor. Russ Cotter with the ball at the top. Dribble drive. Begging for a foul, but instead makes an easy 2. Oh, Riley should have probably been called for a travel, but he was mercifully not.
Maybe, remember they missed one down there early in the ball game.
Yeah,
so maybe they're a little lenient.
It is close to Christmas. Why not? Santa wouldn't call it. Holloway passes off to Hill. Woo, a little backdoor Swataroo.
Yep, nice job defensively by CJ.
He really had to get that because if he swiped and missed, easy deuce. Got some subs coming in here as West is going to sit down and take a blow. So with Riley. Hill into Shepard. Or to Brubaker. Or to Hill again. Ooh, mishandles the ball. Hard defense. We get the ball as we look to transition. Should be an easy 2. Oh, sweet juice.
Caden Jones, outstanding job defensively, cuts it down to 9.
Matthew Thomas, the junior, seeing some action, gets his opportunity, gets a kiss off the glass for Harding. Over to Brubaker, and then, pulls up. Nice block by Pedraza, and again has a chance. And he's going to get that foul called for him. Matthew Thomas is going to visit the line. 6'3". Well, it doesn't look like we're going to enter the single bonus soon enough for us, but at least we get 2 hacks at this, whittle this down, as it's a 9-point game. As long as Harding can keep it within single digits, psychologically that goes a long way. What are we at the charity stripe there, Jeff?
2 of 6.
2 of 6. All right. Hopefully we can make our percentage 50. I'll be honest, I've not seen Matthew Thomas shoot many shots, so I don't know his form or anything of that nature, so this will be a first for me. Not bad. Good ball rotation.
Remember many, many, many years ago when free throw shooters would shoot the ball underhanded.
Mr. Barry, talk about Mr. Barry.
He's the only one I can think of that did it, but boy, he did it successfully.
He was pretty daggone good at it. I was splitting the hairs, 50-50 on that. Making an 8-point game as Riley subs back in. Matthew played a good couple minutes there. Give us some opportunities. Tough call. That's a tough call on Jones. I don't think he held him, but that's a tough call. So therefore, each team has 6. Next one, people are shooting 1 and 1. Shelby has the ball at the 45, passes off to the corner to Brubaker. Brubaker pulls it back out, waiting maybe for the last shot, unless he has an opportunity. He can't resist, off to Hill. Hill's definitely looking to take the last shot. Looks at Baker, pulling across. Instead goes to the block and tosses the ball away, gives Harding one chance. And obviously Hill was upset because he was getting some pressure and the wings were not even making an attempt to come give him an outlet pass of any kind. So now we got West coming back in here for Jeffrey Jones, and trying to steal a little bit of point here and get down to 6.
They can cut it to 5 or 6 here to get to the first half.
That would be a win for Harding. Ultra-aggressive Brubaker hits the ball out.
Considering they were down 14 not long ago.
Well, is Shelby concerned? To be honest, they're still having their way offensively. That's the problem, but they just haven't done much here the last couple of minutes, and that's given Harding an opportunity to make some plays. 7 seconds left. Long ball out of bounds, so it'll be 4.1 seconds left. Pearson putting in his best play, the most advantageous. Bar line offense, pick set for Riley. Tough shot. A potential tip by Pedraza does not fall. 23-31, halftime. Jeff, anything before we go?
Harding very much in this one. It looked like with about 4 minutes to go, they might get blown out, but they've cut it to 8, and they're very much in this basketball game.
Absolutely. Folks, we'll be back after this halftime. Have a good halftime snack.
Athletic training, sports medicine, physical therapy, occupational therapy, or personal fitness, an opportunity to pursue a career pathway in this emerging field. As a student of exercise science, you will gain real-world experience in anatomy and physiology, on and off-the-field injury evaluation, wound care, taping and bandaging, emergency care, exercise and rehab programming, and much more. For more information, contact your guidance counselor or see Coach Cunningham in Room 9. If you're the type of person that enjoys helping others, let Marion Harding's Health Technologies program put you on a career pathway that is in high demand. In our Health Tech program, you'll be introduced to the latest in medical technologies and practices. Be job ready by graduating with your state-tested nursing assistant certification. Get a head start on your medical profession with College Credit Plus from Marion Technical College. Don't hesitate with your class scheduling. Contact your guidance counselor or health tech instructor, Mrs. Applefeller, in room 132 for more details about launching your medical career. Chemistry is the science and study of matter, including its properties, composition, as well as reactivity. Chemistry relates to everything that can be sensed in our physical world. It's important to understand chemistry if you are studying any of the sciences, because all of the sciences involve matter and the interactions between types of matter. The study of chemistry opens doors to many careers. Students wanting to become doctors, nurses, physicists, nutritionists, geologists, pharmacists, and of course chemists all study chemistry. At Harding High School, we are proud to offer chemistry as a field of study. So if you have a passion for science, love doing experiments, and want to perfect your analytical and communication skills, please see your guidance counselor or contact Mrs. Williams in room 235 for more information. The historic OK Cafe.
Pizza, calzones, subs, sandwiches, and more.
Our fresh dough is made daily, topped with your favorite ingredients and made to order.
Stop in for our lunch buffet or check out our many daily specials.
Looking for something to do?
Come in and check out our giant projector screen on game days. Sing with friends on karaoke nights and dance the night away with live entertainment from your favorite local bands.
So even though Rex might have a short reach, we'll never come up short on service.
So remember, when you're hungry, check out the OK Cafe, home of the giant 20-inch Pizzasaurus Rex made to order. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. Come to the historic OK Cafe, located at 734 East Center Street, Marion made for over 80 years. Here you will produce and direct your own broadcast events.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at Harding High School with the Telecom production for boys basketball. Entering the second half, Harding playing Shelby. Again, I'm Scott Cameron, and my compatriot,
Jeff Ruth.
Yeah, so Jeff, tell us, you're the stat monster. What'd you find, sir?
Not exactly. I had Harding 9 of 23. But they actually shot the ball a little bit better the last few minutes. Shelby 14 of 25. So anytime you're shooting 50% or better, that's a good sign.
And as it's 15 of 26, but you consider that percentage and how many threes were taken. Yeah, of course, when you get further into that arc, the higher your percentage should be, and so it does match the quality of shot and the depth of the shot that's been taken by Shelby so far.
You got Shepard with 9, Brew Scotter with 8, Holloway with 8, and then Hill, Brubaker, and Ramsey all with 2 each.
Bruce Scotter kind of surprises me. I was not expecting him as a sophomore to have that kind of production, but he kind of snuck up with those numbers, didn't he?
He is 6'6". Shelby's got 6'6", 6'5", and 6'4".
Shoot.
Shelby only has 4 seniors on their roster.
That's
So this
scary.
is the team. Yeah, this is the team that's going to be around for a while. Yeah. Many of you will remember Troy Schwemley, who coached. Well, he played at River Valley, standing player at River Valley, and then coached at Ridgedale, and then went to Shelby a number of years ago and really kind of built that program up. And his son Uriah, outstanding All-Ohioan. And last I heard, Uriah's playing football at Findlay University.
Yeah.
I was looking for Troy here tonight, didn't see him. But Troy goes back a long way.
Riley pulls up, takes a 3.
Riley leading scorer for Harding. He had 7 points in the first half.
Oh, my.
That's just too easy.
Oh, my. Holloway down in the block, having his way with that left hand. I mean, goodness gracious. I believe he is left-handed. I'm hoping he's left-handed at this point. I'd be afraid to see what he's like shooting right-handed, boy. Riley has the ball at the 45, dribbling around, looking for a cutter. Pass to CJ at the top of the key.
Yeah, they need to keep in that 7 to 10 point range here in the quarter. They can't get behind by much more. And there's a big bumper jumper there by Riley, who's got 10 now.
That's and that's the thing. It kind of surprises me that they're kind of forcing that outside shot with the athleticism that we have. It's off the front of the iron, goes weak side. The driver brings that down. A little shimmy.
Brubaker missed a wide open 3 that time. Harding down 8, can cut it to 5 or 6.
Ooh.
But again, driving inside, able to draw the foul. And that's going to put Marquise Law into the free throw line.
Defensively, Harding looked like they came out there with a three-quarter press of, basically a three-quarter press diamond. And, that we're trying to just force them to hurry up. But what we can't do is Long knocks down one. What we can't do is get apathetic in the front court end of things and let someone blow by us. We've tended to let that happen. Players get behind us defensively, and they get an easy do.
Harding just 5 of 10 from the line.
Ooh. Hill distributes the ball, gets rid of it, and just nice passing. Good ball distribution to Brubaker. Ends up in his hands for a 2.
Shelby, for the most part, handles the ball really, really well.
Yes, they do. Very disciplined. They know the reads. They know how to break down, for sure, that full court press. So Riley gets another 2.
And Riley now with 12 points. Didn't expect him to be the leading scorer in the ball game.
I did not, but he's come in here and made quite a difference for us, keeping us in this ball game within shooting range. Ooh, they didn't see that. I don't even know if you saw CJ there. West squares away, drives in against Shepard, distributes out. Ooh, but turn around, Riley. We still got the ball.
Pedraza with a nice offensive rebound that time.
Yeah. That was a pass, Jeff. It was a pass.
It was, yes.
It was a pass.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
Left-handed, CJ just dribbles in.
Shelby might want to think about a timeout
look at
here.
that.
And now they'll definitely want to think about a timeout.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a 3-point game just like that. Hey, that pressure has really been put.
Marquise Long with the stick back after the steal.
And
this is as close as Harding has been really since the start of the ball game.
This is becoming a game of little bit of game of intimidation as Holloway returned back to the bench. Got a little bump and grinds there with some of the players as they walked through our huddle, and our players took exception to that. So there's Jeff. We're starting to see a game inside the game now a little bit, as the fan bases are, ours particularly is pretty excited, drawing us to a 3-point game.
Yeah.
And hey, we haven't even had a foul being drawn on us yet.
That's true. In the first quarter of the JV game, not a foul was called on either team.
That's the cleanest basketball in the history of basketball.
I was going to say. This is where the home crowd can become a factor.
They can. Just getting the players' heads. Part of it is becoming a mental game as there's a lot of pressure. They just toss the ball away. Harding gets the ball at the middle of the court. Woo!
Just an awful pass, and maybe for the first time this season, Shelby is rattled.
It was actually a great pass to Lynn Hecker. She just wasn't open for it. She wasn't looking.
You're talking about an institution. Boy, how many games has she done over the years?
She might have about the same record as you do. So.
And then Harding turns it over, rather careless pass.
Well, he picked up his dribble. Pedraza picked up his dribble, and I think he realized he shouldn't have done that. But ironically, he was trying to get rid of the ball, and he was facing the basket with no one in front of him. He could have probably thrown it off the iron, followed a shot, and put it back in. Oh, nice pass to the man. Nice bounce pass straight to the block. There's that good ball distribution to the underside of the hoop.
Brubaker now with 6.
Pedraza gets double teamed, gets down to the block. Weird looking shot. I don't even believe he had his feet set for that.
Yeah, that's what's called rushing your shot. Just a little bit too anxious.
And he had a lot of time. He just hot potato. Ooh, that looked a little funny, but that was an up and down. His feet came down without releasing the ball, but
Substitution number 24, Wesley Stokes.
Stokes enters the game again.
For Shelby, number 5, Alex Prospower.
West with only 4 points up to this point.
He's really, it's kind of a tougher situation height-wise. Nice pass. Ooh!
You're going to get Riley with the defensive foul, but he got a lot of ball, but got a little bit of the body, I think.
A little bit of the body. And once again, when you bring your hand down, whether you realize it or not, most times your body goes forward and you're going to bump the player with the body. It's just always got to keep that hand up. It is tough to do, especially when you know you got a big swat coming. Holloway dumps one in. This is a player that I think might be able to pose some problems for Holloway. If Coleman can get in Holloway's head, athletically and height size-wise, this poses a bigger challenge for Shelby having Coleman in there than Westwood. That body length, the arm length. West gives out to Pedraza. Pedraza brings back up to the center circle, looking for a new offensive set. Passes off to Coleman. Yeah, Coleman. Coleman, nice to see that young man back.
You almost knew what you were talking about.
Man, I tell you what, I watched Coleman play. That's a double dribble. I watched Coleman play his freshman year. That kid is a basketball player. Man. And he had some problems, and life wasn't working out the way he wanted it to, and it's nice to see that young man back on the basketball court where he belongs. Quite an athlete, just kind of trying to break back into the rhythm of things. Shelby dips the ball out, I guess. A call of apprehension upon the referees. Long will take the ball out. Even the refs are still out of alignment. I don't even think they know what to do. He's in the wrong position. There we go. He's going back to the 2. All right. Good try if he can get it. Put in by Long and one. There we go. Hey, that and one is only as good as what you do at the charity stripe. This is a big bucket right here, Jeff, to try and draw for thin one.
Yep.
Man.
Long now with 8 points.
So what Wes is doing offensively, and maybe he's going to listen to this, but he probably won't. He needs to keep his chin to the rim. he's fading away and letting the defensive player, set the standard of his shot rather than him determining that. Chin to the rim as we got a 1-point game, Jeff. Did you see this happening?
I'm not going to say I didn't, but when they were down 14, I didn't see it.
You asked me in the first quarter, I would have said no.
Like how Harding fought back. Again, they looked like they were out of it early on, but they've continued to be the aggressor. And there's a foul on Harding backcourt.
Easy call foul.
Foul on Caden Jones.
Yeah, this full court press has really been wreaking havoc for Shelby. It's really kind of it's an opportunity for us to use that speed and athleticism that we do have, and to create that mess. As you know, what's going to happen here if they start stacking. They're going to run a long play, just like that. Ooh,
another steal.
Good dip.
Temple poked it
Keep
away.
it to the
Temple missed the layup.
Oh, but still alive. Yeah, that is Shelby ball.
That would have given Harding the lead.
Tough shot taken from the front of the iron rather than the side and bank. That is a that is a tough shot to take.
But again, Harding very much the aggressor
Very much
here
so.
in
I
this ball
agree.
game right now.
We are dictating the play and the tempo. Yeah, that's the right call. If he, honestly, if CJ would have just stood his ground and taken the charge, that would have been better. Instead, he tried to play with the little feet. It's going to get called every single time.
Each team with 3 fouls now. Second foul on Temple.
You can kind of feel the intensity up a little bit here. Kind of Shelby kind of knowing they've got themselves in the ball game.
You're right.
Dangerous, high risk pass, but nonetheless at the top of the court. And we got a little action down underneath.
I think they got a technical on Caden Jones, maybe.
No,
Nope,
just
no technical.
just a hold.
Yeah.
Holding on defensively.
The way it looked like for a second, it looked like they hit him for a technical, but they didn't.
No, it was a harsher whistle, kind of whistle. Oh, that's a weak foul, but it was a foul. Unlucky place to have your hands. Pedraza today, he just has hands in the wrong spot, man. And yeah.
Holloway with 13 now for Harding.
Still am a firm believer. I really do believe Coleman might be able to offer something defensively, just body length-wise, to stop Holloway. And Holloway, it's tricky for him because that unorthodoxness of being a lefty in that regard, if you're not used to playing against that, that's tricky, especially as a post player. You don't encounter that very often down post as a lefty. You don't see that. Seems to be pitching fits for us defensively. Along with the ball, with CJ probably could have dribbled the ball in. And that should have been a body foul.
A lot of contact underneath that wasn't called.
Yep.
I think you can hear the crowd reaction as well.
Yeah, I think we might be looking for in the next 30 seconds or so, Jeff. I have a feeling there will be a nice makeup call somewhere. Yeah. There will be a foul on them or a lack of foul called on us.
Nice tip there by Stokes.
Stokes bringing the ball up himself. Oh! Yeah, he can't grab that ball. He has not entered the field of play. Still Harding basketball. And Brubaker enters the game again with Bruscotter taking a seat. Harding enters the ball to West. West in the corner. Gets Pedraza near block. Pedraza kind of out of control. Has to get rid of the ball. And there is a foul. Foul called on Jeremy, the lefty Holloway.
Just his first, team's fourth.
That's kind of, actually, you think about that, that's pretty amazing. That's only his first foul. He's pretty much been in,
Yeah.
I'd say 80% of the game.
At least.
Yeah, at least. So that just speaks about the footwork that he has, especially on the low block. CJ in the corner. Passes to West to 45 as he brings the ball up to the circle. Offensive set. Seems to be a 1v1. Passing off to Pedraza. Drives to it. Oh. That did not look like the most comfortable. Yeah, he needed.
It's going to be his fourth.
Charge. That was another tough call. Boy, Shelby didn't look set to me. I did not see Amari lower shoulder. Tough calls. Two tough calls. A little bit of extra action under the hoop.
Well, I think on Ramsey.
Yep, Isaiah Ramsey. And coach is going to be subbing Brubaker in here. Interesting to see who's going to be coming. Nope. He's going to leave Ramsey in there, and here comes Coleman. I believe it was Coleman, but it was the freshman championship or semifinal. I can't remember what it was when I watched him play last. And he dunked the ball. I believe it was him. I mean, goodness gracious, Jeff. The sheer athleticism that he has. A lot of potential in that young man.
One of the Shelby kids dunked it in the JV game.
Oh, really? Nice. Well, I sure hope so with mere giants amongst the mortals that they seem to have. Yep.
Careful, yep.
There's a hand on the hip. Hand on the hip is going to get called every single time when they're driving. That's why you see so many players defensively when they're driving. They keep their hands straight up.
With 48 seconds going third quarter, it's now 1-1 for Shelby.
Goodness gracious.
Hill with only 2 points tonight.
I think we have to go to bed by midnight, but we'll be lucky to get out here at 11:30.
Oh, we're doing all right.
I don't know. I'm envisioning a free throw shooting contest that might last a while.
Which would probably favor Shelby
It
at
would
this point.
Greatly favor Shelby. Hill throws the first one up. Misses. Hallelujah course begins, and Hondo has his day. West bringing the ball down the court. Sets up offensively. Riley takes a three in the corner.
Got that turn, shot it immediately.
Yes, and well, he got his feet. It's a great shot, taken right in rhythm, and we got a little bit of this.
He's got 15 now.
Ball distribution all around the floor. Stops in the paint. Shepard drops the two. 10 seconds left. Harding down by 3. Ball taken up by West. Ooh, West looked at Coleman, just didn't see it. Throws up a 3. Ooh. Low off, tough shot, tough place to be. We will take a break. Back for the fourth quarter for Marion Harding High School Telecom production.
Grants cadets the ability to rank higher should they pursue a military career pathway. For more information, contact your guidance counselor or see Lieutenant Colonel Espinoza in room 234. Global logistics is the process of managing the flow of resources or goods between businesses and the consumers. In addition, global logistics analyzes the acquisition of goods, how the goods are stored, and the methods of transporting the goods within a supply chain. At Harding High School, we are proud to offer a 2-year class in the study of global logistics. In this class, students will receive an English credit for taking Logistics 1. They will also participate in multiple field trips, making connections through real-world projects with local businesses. These students will obtain Career Pathway Logistics certification, earning 12 credits for graduation. Students may also earn Lean Six Sigma certification, giving them a credentialed advantage in the job market. However, most importantly, logistics offers transferable.
And we're back here, ladies and gentlemen, for the fourth quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter. 42 Marion, 45 Shelby.
Harding outscored them 18-10 in that third quarter.
And big contributor factor, and that was Harding's full court press. Really kind of, it shook up the Sturvey and those Whippets, and boy, we really kind of took it to them there a little bit for a period of time, and kind of evened the playing field. And I think we were talking about in the third quarter, it might turn into a free throw shooting competition as Riley takes a shot, and West needs to go. How is there no foul? I don't know. Goodness gracious.
Long with 11 now on the offensive stick back.
Maybe the referees have to go to bed by 11:32. They don't want to call foul. Goodness almighty. Dribble to the paint is a Euro step.
Shepard now with 13. Harding's got it to within one on a couple of occasions, but they just can't take the lead.
And this is a, oh, crap. Yep.
Over and back violation.
And this is kind of what we need to see. We're talking about Harding and the ability to produce with controlled athleticism and speed as Coleman comes out. And we've kind of seen that in some regards, more the second half, more the second, third quarter. As Hill has the ball, looking to set up offensively. As Harding is set in a 1-2-1-3-1 zone. Kind of hard to tell as we pick that off, and Wes has the ball off Shelby. Harding ball underneath the hoop by the M of Marion.
Nice play by Long at the other end of the floor.
Yeah, just picked it right off. So that zone is going to do a great job for us right now because it's going to force them with tired legs to try and keep that ball taking long shots. That's not what they've been good at here. It's going to really pigeonhole things to be pushed out. So good call by Coach Pearson defensively. Moving it around, changing it up.
You can tell I'm getting old. I have to ask for a chair.
The disheveledness. Wes has the ball at the 45. Dribbles, hands off Jones. Fake to Kieran. Jones has the ball, pass off to Wes. Fans are loving it for both sides. Great play by both teams. Hard defense, and Wes. Oh! Drops in the deuce. It's 47-46. Harding still and breathing. Out of control, but still alive, and they put up the three.
That's a killer. Harding played great defense. Just the ball bounced the right way. Shepard now with 16.
Caught it right in stride. Great shot. As West tries to answer. A little off, a little deep. Oh, hard defense. Bruscar brings it back, and Shepard gets fouled. Shepard is becoming the Prexy pounder right now.
He only had 2 points in the first quarter. He's got 16 right now, chance to make it 18.
So it becomes now a solution of how do we stop Mason Shepard? And this ain't football.
And for all the English teachers out there, this isn't football.
I speak correct grammatically when I desire to.
That's, yeah. Neither one of us were English majors.
I've been in Marion a long time now, and I grew up out in the country in Mount Vernon too, so Knox County's got its fair share too.
17 now for Shepard. He leads all scorers. It's back to a 5-point game.
Yep, big possession here for Harding. Kind of wrap it in. The rule of thumb is really however many minutes is however many points you want to be down by if you want to make a good game. And So that's a little off. Good rebound. Brings it back out, belong to CJ. CJ dribbles around, looks down, sees the block open. Oh! Oh.
Well, they've had a couple of hung on the rim here in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, it rolled 200 degrees, but not the down. So this is once again where this is kind of a critical juncture in terms of free throw shooting. But that does bode well for us because we're going to have free throws next foul no matter what anyways. So these are bonus attempts, in other words.
6 of 13 for Harding from the free throw line.
Boy, don't you, 7 points. Wouldn't you love to have 3 of those right now?
Shelby's only been to the line 6 times tonight. Missed him. Nope. Got the friendly bounce there. So 7 of 14.
Merciful bounce. Hayden Bays checks in.
He had a big 3-pointer at the end of the first half in the game against Gallion on Friday night.
Oh, yes, you're right. He did. That was a critical 3 as Bays kind of whimsically let the ball go by, and there dribbles the ball off. Bays gives the ball to CJ. CJ dribbling around, desiring to set up half court offensively. Bays back to CJ. Bays sets a hard screen for West. That play developed because of Hayden's screen. Nice job, Hayden. Way to set that wide screen. Ooh!
Kind of a late call there,
Late
wasn't
whistle.
it?
Not an incorrect whistle, a late whistle.
Second foul on Stokes.
But,
And Andre Hill with only 2 points tonight.
But what he's been able to do distributively,
Yep.
I think that speaks. Well, you were saying that he's a distributor. Hayden comes
Kieran
back
will
out.
check back in with 15.
Tell you what, Hayden had a good sequence of play. Even that 1 minute, man, did a great job offensively and defensively. It's what we needed. Whoa. Yeah, the whistle, the buzzer blew. The refs missed it.
Yeah, Harding actually had 6 players
Yeah,
out on the floor.
But that's an inconsequential. Yeah, that was a referee mistake, not a Harding mistake. Or to Kieran with the 3. That's going to be off, but that should be there we go. I was going to say, should be a foul, and it was blown.
We had a good look at that shot, and it was one of those, as soon as it left his hand,
You knew.
It was off the mark.
Off to the left. Yep.
But it was a good shot. He was open. He just missed it.
Yep. The ball rotation out of his hand looked a little bit funky. Hey, we're going to take a real quick break. Harding High School Telecom basketball production.
Live entertainment from your favorite local bands.
So even though Rex might have a short reach, we'll never come up short on service.
So remember, when you're hungry, check out the OK Cafe, home of the giant 20-inch Pizzasaurus Rex made to order. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. Come to the historic OK Cafe, located at 734 East Center Street, Marion made for over 80 years. Manufacturing has changed. There was a time when people would spend countless hours pushing buttons, pulling levers, and swinging hammers. One day, things began to change. One day, things became smart. Buttons.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here again, and we are finding ourselves in quite a trivial contest with the Shelby Whippets. 4-point game with 4:13 left, so we are right in that glorious zone of making this a great basketball game as long as finding himself the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
Win or lose, Jamie's got to be pleased with the effort. They've had some shots that didn't drop, and he knows that they can play because Shelby's, if Shelby's not the best team on their schedule this year, certainly they're one of the best.
Correct. And despite of that, some not better looking shots that we've taken, but also some tougher calls we've had against, or not for Harding, I should say, rather. And, that's the game of basketball, though. Somehow that happens, and, Harding still found themselves in this game. Second one's put up, and those two critical free throws.
Long with 14 now. Harding 9 of 16 from the line. Once again, a one-possession game with 4 minutes to go.
Throwing up a three. I'm guaranteeing, I'm betting that Coach Galloway was not pleased with that shot. Fast shot, three-pointer. That's not what their cup of tea's been all night. Pedraza takes it. And he just got it. See, that's what I was talking about. He has a lot more energy and zeal, but he's just got to get the ball to hoop now. Ooh, and put up. Boy, that young man, Jeremy Holloway, has been the Achilles of the Achilles.
He's got
tonight.
16, and instead of Harding tying it, Shelby gets a quick one the other way, and now it's a 4-point Shelby lead.
It's a 4-point swing, Jeff. Ooh, could have been called. Should have been called. Ball thrown away. Hill has the ball. Hill going to drive in and, get blocked. Kieran has the ball off to CJ. CJ looks up, looks to drive towards the middle of the hoop.
3-on-2 break.
Ooh. Things are looking, tough call, but the right call. And apparently a lot of players falling on the ground. Is there some ice in the center?
There's a little perspiration on the floor, maybe a little wet spot.
Tough fought game, you're going to have a lot of sweat. Heck, I sit sometimes and start sweating. Hey, so what are you looking forward to eat for Christmas?
What am I looking forward to eat?
Yeah, what are you looking forward to eat for Christmas? Christmas dinner, lunch?
Whatever my sister has.
So you go there, and is that where you eat your holiday meals?
Yeah, we go to, my family's still in Mansfield, so we go to Mansfield.
Okay. What's your favorite food that you're looking forward to? If she could make anything, she called you up and said, hey, Jeff, what do you want me to make? What would you tell her?
You can't go wrong. Well, crab legs.
I've seen you at Hong Kong buffet throwing those suckers
I
down.
don't know crab legs are a Christmas tradition. You can't go wrong with ham or turkey.
It was on Christmas Story. They went to Chinese at the end.
Yeah.
Did they ever cut you off at Hong Kong buffet?
No, they never did.
No, never have. Hill throws in the first one, making it a 5-point contest.
3 of 3 from the free throw line here in the last minute or so.
Man,
they call it a buffet for a reason.
I just didn't know if you were the buffet's worst nightmare, Jeff. That's all. It's off the line and
missed the free throw, but then Shelby will maintain possession.
Free possession by Shelby. This is a must stop defensively. We're going to have to put a lot of pressure on because Shelby can waste the clock away and wane it however they desire. Ball to the top, Hill. Go to Ramsey. Ramsey back out to Hill at the top, Shepard. Ooh, a little out of control, nonetheless. Fourth shot. Goes in by...
He's got 10 now, this Russ Cotter.
Oh,
big
Riley.
three.
Big three. Especially because no one was down there to rebound. That was a high-risk, high-reward shot.
Riley with 18 tonight. That's got to be close to a career high, if not a career high, I would think.
Drawing it to a 4-point game. That's a walk that was not called. Wow. How do you not call a walk on that? I have no idea. Gee, many Christmas.
6 points with 2 minutes to go.
And they also missed an over and back by us, but that's okay. Sheesh. Wes has the ball, drive it in, and kicks it off his feet. Seeing what we've got here in the tank with 2 minutes left, 6-point game. We are not quite into must foul territory, but we are definitely in the territory of we need a good turnover.
Yep. And of course, it's double bonus for Shelby from here on out.
Correct. So there are trepidatious consequences to fouling, especially if we foul the wrong individual. Ooh, drag the foot.
They caught it.
Yep. Isn't that an old song? Dragging the line, dragging the line.
That is.
There we go. We got the ball here.
Some of our younger audience will not recognize.
No, they
that
wouldn't
song.
know that. They wouldn't know that. I only know that because my dad made me listen to oldies all the time. I was raised the right way, Jeff. CJ has the ball. Bring it up as Shelby settles into the man defense. Long around the horn. Ooh, had the ball, but maybe a little apprehension. CJ takes a three and drops it down, making it a one-possession game. Time out by the Prexies. And what do we got here? 4:30. Potentially a 30, maybe setting up. Well, we'll just go ahead and stay here.
CJ, his first 3 of the night. He's got 7, and it's a one-possession game. Harding will be back here a week from tomorrow hosting River Valley in what should be a big MOAC conference matchup.
That will be a barn burner. And as for girls, we've got the girls have a game tomorrow night here against Highland, and next Saturday they play here again against the Clear Fork Colts. Would you do you call Clear Fork Belleville on accident ever?
Yeah. Well, technically, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. You think there's still people there that are a little embittered about that?
They put out some athletes at Clear Fork over the years, haven't they?
It's interesting to see the when they combine the schools there. They have a little demonstrate, like a little. You could almost call it a shrine of when they connected the schools and combined them, and it's kind of interesting to go over there and look. But no doubt, you go there, the Wall of Fame. My goodness gracious! Hall brings the ball up the floor. Shelby finding itself in control, but they're going to have to manage something that could have been a travel. Big play by Ramsey. Harding with 112. Pedraza bringing the ball up. 5-point ball game. Pedraza dribbles around at the top of the key. Shaves off long, passes off to West.
So much for Shelby trying to take time off the clock.
Yes. We're going to find ourselves shooting 1 and 1.
So Riley will shoot the 1 and 1.
I don't even want to look, Jeff. Tell me if he makes it. Why did you tell me to look, Jeff? As we set up the full court press, and that's an easy 2. Oh, boy. Holloway tried to almost get an and 1. That was that could have almost been called a foul, but way to avoid the call. West looks like he is trying to placate a call to the ref. I don't know what happened.
Shelby with a 3-point lead with 42 seconds to go. Timeout, Shelby.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and stay here since we'll keep the energy inside this. So, what does Harding need to do outside of a turnover? What are you looking for them to do defensively as Shelby brings the ball down the court?
Well, I look Shelby last time down the floor before that turnover. I thought they might take some time off the clock. They didn't. They continued to attack, and they got a bucket inside. So I kind of look for Shelby to kind of play the clock a little bit, not totally go into a stall. If they get the shot, they'll take it. But there's no sense. You're not going to see Shelby put up a 3-pointer here. They're going to be very judicious, shall we say, as far as getting the shot that they want.
Oh yes, I agree. I think they will have to be. They can be extremely picky about the shot they have to take. But with a 3-point game and the way Riley's been shooting threes, and there are still other people other than Riley that can shoot the 3. Shelby's got to be thinking, man, we either have to make a bucket or really stall the clock. It's really one of those things where it's first to 65 is probably going to win the game.
So any Harding fouls, Shelby will shoot the bonus.
Found ourselves in a 4v2. Hall attacks. Foul. Ooh, and there you go. Shelby's going to waste some clock out.
Shepard had a shot, but he passed the ball back out.
So now we have to hope for chaos as Hill has the ball. We are approaching the must foul time, and it's a move.
Oh. Boy,
Harding's got to hustle the ball down the floor.
He got the friendly kiss off the
did.
rim.
No kidding. And
10 seconds ago, he down 5, got to put up a shot.
oh. And it looks like, too little, too late. Riley's going to take some shots at the free throw line, but it's going to be the dismay of a probable loss and barring some sort of fancy comeback. Never say never,
Yep.
but all we're missing is the R.
Made that when he's got 17 tonight. Harding is shooting the ball better here in the second half from the free throw line.
Shelby crowd energized, trying to break our bleachers.
I'm glad I'm not sitting directly behind the Shelby student section because they haven't sat down since the JV game.
Correct. As Shelby looks to take a timeout because I think they recognize too that this isn't exactly done and over.
If you're Harding, do you try to miss the free throw here?
No, if I were Harding, what I would do, make your free throw and then foul before someone even gets a cut, before they can even inbound the ball. To try and get 2 free because if you miss it, there's only 1.9 seconds and 4 points. That doesn't do you a hill of beans. But if you make the bucket and then you don't run any clock off, and if they miss 2 free throws, you get a half-court shot. You never know. The probability of that exponentially decreases as we go into the details. But that's realistically probably our best option, barring making it and having some sort of whimsical steal.
Harding never took the lead. They got it to within 1 on a couple
times.
And they had a couple opportunities to take the lead, but just couldn't get it
Couldn't
to
push
get out.
it. And like you said, I think Pearson is right. You're right about Pearson. He's going to be pleased about this, but I think he's also going to see some of the broken opportunities and chances that are kind of just we were not fortuitous in taking advantage of those opportunities we did have. We did have them.
Boy, Riley's really played a steady game tonight.
Absolutely. Like you said, I mean, golly, if he's really been kind of keeping us in the game.
Made it, got 18.
So now Coach Pearson's taking a full timeout. So at this point, I'm sure Coach Pearson's probably discussing, like I said, fouling before it's inbounded. Shelby, what they're going to be doing, they will look for either probably a quick inbound off of a far screen, so that way you have someone coming trajectory towards a block, so it's a short pass, high percentage pass. And if that's not open, there'll probably be some sort of screen set for a long pass somewhere around the free throw line, because you don't want to throw it out of bounds on accident. Then you give Harding the ball where they're getting inbounding, right? So something that could be thrown around Christian Leitner territory. And young people at home don't understand that one. But somewhere around Christian Leitner territory, so that way if the ball's tipped, 1.9 seconds, again, exponentially decreases our opportunities to pass that. So that's probably what Shelby's talking about or designing.
The advantage of keeping your timeouts till late in the ball game.
Absolutely. It gives you opportunities to at least talk about it or at least pray about it. But nonetheless, 3-point, and you know, you hate saying, well, it's a good loss. A 3-point loss to a great Shelby team, that's not a bad loss. You know, that's respectable. As Coach Worstall's walking across the floor, the former Harding High School boys coach. Good seeing him here.
He wants to beat the crowd.
Yeah, so there's the, that is a terrible.
Oh, boy, but there's only 2:10. They may put a little.
I don't
extra
know
tick.
if they can do that at the high school level.
You got 0.2 of a second, so you can't really set and shoot. You almost have to tip it in.
I think.
Oh, they're going to put 47 seconds on the clock.
Oh well, by golly, we won't get. We definitely won't get to bed before midnight. I don't know why the Shelby cheering section is saying overrated.
Quick thinking, though, by Harding. Again, they had that timeout in their back pocket. As soon as they got possession, they called the timeout.
Well,
So they got a little more than half the length of the floor. And depending on where the clock winds, I think you might have time to put up a three.
Studies have shown you need at least 0.3 to take
Yep.
a legal shot. So I'm interested to see what they do. I will say, though, Shelby did do what I said they were going to do. They had a player go across the baseline off screen, and
Yep,
they ended up
still-
going Christian Leitner, but
It's still 0.2 of
that
a
was
second.
a terrible pass by Shelby, but much to the advantage of Harding. This will be interesting to get the shot, and then, and looks like they're just trying to create chaos.
Shot by
Oh!
Just off the mark. That was long.
A lot of respect.
Three-pointer that was just off the mark.
A lot of respect for by Shelby, I think, for Harding, as players. They realized that they got out of here and they were given a game and they had to work for it. Good job by Harding. And ladies and gentlemen, again, we are going to be back here tomorrow night as the Marion Harding girls are going to be playing Highland in the Battle of the Scots versus the Prexies. Again, Jeff, any last thoughts for tonight?
Just, Harding was down 14 in the second quarter. It looked like it could get away from them. It didn't. Harding was able to cut back. It was still an 11-point game at halftime, but I like how Harding fought back there in the second half. And, they came up short, but they just really ran out of time. Another minute or two in this ball game.
Never know.
Harding might have won this game.
Right, absolutely. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having us in your home. Thank you for supporting Marion City Schools. We have a great thing going on here. And, again, John Mullins and the Telecom team does a great job being able to bring these games to you for memories and years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good evening. I'm Scott Cameron for Jeff Ruth. Good night.